Coach, another night where you battled hard. Excellent play out of your guards, and then at the end, turnovers popped up and scoring dried up. What triggered that?
Yeah, like you said, I'm proud of our fight, and we battled the whole night. And in the fourth quarter, we just didn't have enough to sustain our play.
Kyra Lewis certainly had some good moments tonight. Did you see some growth out of him that you can build on?
Absolutely. He works extremely hard, and we want him to come in the game and be aggressive on both ends of the floor, picking up full court defensively, turning their guards, and then offensively, we're starting to see his ability to attack the paint for finishes and kickouts to his teammates. So we just need him to continue to grow, continue to get better, and continue to be aggressive.
Fourth quarters have been a struggle the last few ball games. Is it a little mental and a little physical? What do you see as far as the lack of offensive execution? Is it both of those things?
We just got to get better. That's it. No excuses. Credit to Sacramento. They came out and they did what they needed to do to win a game. They're coming off a back-to-back just like we are. And, I have to coach better and we have to be better. That's it.
A lot of different combinations, too, tonight as well. Again, coming off the back-to-back. What did you like from your guys off the bench? Again, that's the third straight game you've had 30 or more bench points.
No, we battled. We absolutely battled our tails off. That's a tough team offensively. It went down to, maybe the first few minutes in the fourth quarter, and then we just kind of turned the ball over a few times, and they got some momentum offensively against us. So I'm proud of our fight, but, we have room for improvement.
Yeah, you talked before the game about how much you guys are relying on Jonas, with B.I. and Zion out. Just on a night like this where he's just not, scoring the way he has these past few games, what do you have to do to get more offense out of those other guys?
I thought they did a good job. All the guys came in, they stepped up and played well. Kyra came in off the bench. Garrett had a really good night. Josh has been steady for us. I thought Jonas got a little tired, and rightfully so. He's been playing heavy minutes, game in and game out. He's been rock solid for us all season thus far. We just got to go back and look at the tape, but I thought they did what they needed to do in the fourth quarter as far as execution, and we fell a little short. And
you decided to go with Billy, after that first quarter with the backup center minutes. Just what went into that decision, and what did you kind of see from him?
Well, just in practice in general, Billy has been working. He's working his tail off. He plays extremely hard, and we needed his effort and energy, especially with Lynn, as big as he is, as the backup center. So we wanted to match his minutes up a little bit with Lynn to give us a better look.
And just speaking from a big picture perspective, with Nikhil and Jackson going into year three, there was a lot of expectation about what those guys can do this year. I think it's fair to say they just haven't been exactly what some people thought they would be up to this point. Just what do you feel about those guys, development at this point and what you want to see from them going forward?
I think they both are continuing to get better. It's a long season. And, I don't think, for me, I want to judge anything right now. It's a long season. We still got a long ways to go, and we have a lot of room for improvement. Those guys they work, and we'll just get better collectively as a team.
Christian Clark on Zoom.
Hey, Willie, we saw the end of the third quarter, Kyra get downhill for that dunk. I guess how helpful is that, or how good for that is his game when he does have that downhill mentality and he's attacking the basket?
It's really good. It's what he does well is he can attack downhill. He can get into the paint. He can finish. And we need that type of effort from Kyra and for him to be consistent.
That was actually almost exactly the question I was going to ask. But, is it something where he's just getting more comfortable, more confident? It's something that he's been working on as far as it just seems like when he gets into the paint, he's making really good decisions and knows what to do.
Yeah, most definitely. He's getting more comfortable. We're playing him consistent minutes, so it allows him to know his role. And look, it may be some nights that he doesn't come out and necessarily score 14 points, but just being a really consistent backup point guard for us right now is important for him.
All right. Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, let's start with the tough question, so to speak. It was a really promising game through the first half, and then in the second half, especially that fourth quarter, it seemed to slip away. Where was the breakdown in your eyes?
Just having turnovers, letting them get out in their fast break when they want to play and getting them easy buckets and letting the crowd get into it. So I feel like once we get better with that, we'll close the game a lot better.
You personally seemed to find another gear, though, in the second half. What was working so well for you?
Just staying in attack mode, trying to free up my teammates and make plays for them, and the defense cover them, make plays for myself.
Do you feel like this is a performance you can grow off of, take a jump from?
Most definitely. Watch the film, watch the highs and the lows of the game, see how I could be better. Just keep being aggressive in every game I play.
And it seems like ever since you locked down that backup point guard spot, you be just getting more and more comfortable in that role. What do you think you've been able to do to kind of just show what you can do and try to, make a step forward in your second year?
I say just play freely, just play off instincts, don't predetermine anything, just work off the court, watching film, getting extra reps in, and just having fun with the game.
And just how tough is it, to be in this kind of hole with the injuries piling up for you guys? Just as the mood right now with you guys, where you are right now.
It's tough, but we're going to stay positive. That's the best thing you can do, because once you get negative, it's even tougher. So the mentality is to keep going, keep building. Eventually we're going to start winning games like this. But we're just going to keep going through our growing pains and keep getting better.
In these last two fourth quarters, what have you kind of seen with the offense where it kind of tailed off?
Just live ball turnovers, making it tough on us, not getting easy shots for ourselves. And once again, just really live ball turnovers and letting them get out, get easy buckets, get their crowd into it. It's tough to come back from something like that.
All right, we'll go to Zoom.
Kyra, you used the phrase attack mode. It seems like you were really effective getting into the paint, and that's something that you've done really well the last few games. What do you think are some of the factors behind that? I know you talked about that you've added muscle during the offseason. What do you think are some of the reasons why you have gotten a lot better at, scoring in the paint and just having that mentality?
That's my game, getting downhill, making plays for myself and my teammates. I feel like that's when I'm at my best. Just in the offseason, working on different finishes, different touch off the glass, floaters. And like I said, just being in attack mode, next play mentality. So whatever happens, good or bad, I move on and keep playing.
Two fourth quarters where the offense just kind of, slowed down for you guys and allowed the other team to take off.
I think not getting shot attempts hurt us. The buildup of 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 possessions, I think, hurt us. You're going to make mistakes throughout the game, but playing through those mistakes, kind of cutting the water off, putting the fire out, per se. It was like one turnover, and then we had another one. We got to kind of limit the continuous bad possessions, because they're going to happen throughout the course of the game, but the more we can stop them from getting from 1 to 3 in a row, to 4 in a row, that'll give us a better chance.
And what do you think it's going to take to kind of, turn the water off, as you said, or put that fire out when it starts to pile up on you guys?
I think just ultimately playing and talking more, playing through it more, applying what we're seeing in those mistakes, making that read faster, quicker, so we don't do the same thing consecutively. I think that would be the main thing.
And, it seemed like you were in a better flow tonight. Just where are you right now, just figuring out your role with this team, how to kind of get out of that shooting slump you were in, and just your overall feel right now in the offense?
Being confident in myself, trusting myself, my work, and that's all I can do. I can't focus on anything else. I'm trying to play to win. When the ball is in my hands, try not to settle, try to get downhill, and then from there make the right play. Pass or score. One or two things. Simplify the game.
Go ahead with Zoom.
Hey, Nikhil, just more to that going downhill. Do you think that did kind of help you kind of find a little bit of a rhythm there in your game there in the third quarter?
Yep. It did help. I was able to kind of find that flow and build confidence after one bucket and then another, and then another, and then the game just started to kind of slow down and feel good.
Hey, Willie said a couple games ago he felt like this is just something you guys got to go through. Just kind of take your lumps early in the season. I mean, what are just your general thoughts on just trying to stay positive when you guys are dealing with all these injuries?
I think the main thing is just controlling what you can. Life's gonna get tough, and I think the main thing is just showing our character in times like this, who we are as men and who we are as people. We can't be front runners. We can't be all hype when Z, BI come back, and God's willing, we win games and we're starting to get on a roll, and then we can't be down when they're not here or when someone goes down and we act like we're helpless. I think it's just about staying even keel, not getting too high, not getting too low.
There was a bright spot in the second half in the play of Kyra. What do you see out of him in terms of growth and development?
He's been coming off and giving us a good spark in the last few games, playing with confidence, trusting himself, and getting downhill, using his speed to his advantage. I think him wanting to do better and wanting to grow as a player has helped as well, because I see it. He's starting to want to get in the gym earlier and come in early mornings and get shots up and build a routine. So you see his hunger for the game and it's coming out to show.
Missing over 50 points with BI and Z on the bench. What can be done differently? How can you approach the end of games in a different way to close?
Take care of the ball. I fault myself for the one turnover I did have was, I think, a turning point in the game. Najee got a great offensive rebound, and I threw it out of bounds. And then the next possession, we had a turnover. And it was a kind of a snowball effect. And we weren't able to get out of a hole after they were able to put a run on us that late in the game. So I think the biggest thing when we're missing guys like B.I., obviously Zion, we got to play as a unit, but we got to take care of the ball. Obviously, this hasn't been our worst turnover game, but 16 is still too many. Our room for error is not that much.
Kyra had a great game for him. What type of growth have you seen out of him from maybe the beginning of the season until now?
I think just understanding what we need from him, understanding how to impact the game in his way, the pace that he can bring to the team. We don't have anybody that can do what he can do. So his ability to get downhill, play with speed, and be aggressive on the offensive end has really shown, and we need him to do that every night.
Yeah, you've experienced some high highs in this league, some low lows. Just where do you feel this team is right now after this slow start, as the injuries start to pile up? Just how are you guys feeling in the locker room right now?
No, it's human nature to get a little down. If we weren't competitive, if we didn't care about winning and losing, we shouldn't be in this league. But at the end of the day, understanding who we're missing, and as you said, if we were losing games by 15 and 20 every night, it would be a different feeling. The fact that we're in all of these games and there are correctable things that we can control, to have us maybe win some of those games, I think that's the light at the end of the tunnel. And obviously, having two All-Stars, coming back hopefully soon, is also gives us some hope. But we got to try to string together a couple of wins to right this ship.
When you have so many young guys in that locker room, how tough is it to kind of make sure they have that positive outlook and understand the big picture, and not get caught up in this current moment?
Understand that it's the league, and if you're worried about the game before or the 2 games before, then you're not worried about the task at hand. We have another game in 2 days against one of the most potent offenses in the league, so we got to find a way to flush this, learn from it, and move on. And saying that, some people may think, well, we're not really caring about the loss, which is not the case at all. But the way this league works, you got to focus on the next game. You can't get the last one back. So we got to figure out how to learn from it, watch some film, and then put our hard hat on again.
Go ahead with Zoom, please.
Hey, Garrett, I mean, like, tonight what was Zion be on the bench? Like that's 50 points from last year. I mean, like how do you even go about replacing that? Like do you guys feel like, it's not one or two guys? Do you feel like it's a collective effort that goes into replacing that?
Yeah, it's definitely a collective effort. And again, it would be different if we're scoring 20, 22 points every quarter. But if you look at it, we had 35 in the third. We had 26. Offensively, we were able to score points. It's just at the end of the game, we were having these quarters with 12 points. Starting off, I think last game we were down 21-9 at the beginning of the third to start the third. So we have these lulls on offense where we get stagnant, and a lot of it is from turning the ball over. So it's a group effort. We got to continue to play in the fourth quarter the way we played in the beginning of the game to get those leads. So having them come back, obviously, having some closers will help. But we got to just make sure we're trying to play the right way the entire game and not just for 3.5 quarters.
Thanks, GT. Appreciate it.
No problem.